Hi, all of you. First and foremost thing, I don't know how much I would cover, but just I'm going to say the situation across our country with that of running a school or opening a new school. And here I'll be focusing more on the private, unaided budget school. Those are mostly state board, even it includes CBSE, ICSE, who comes under that bracket of budget. What do you mean by budget is the important thing. We all know that we are with the hard working, we had a determination that we'll have to give a good quality education to the society, and we started building our schools. We're still building and we couldn't end because of lot of problems. Like budget schools are low cost private schools for poor or economically weaker section. It is mostly done in developing and undeveloped countries. Who does that? Because of demand, quality and accountability, an individual or a group of people or a private sector or someone from this philanthropist, they are going to open this. And I have classified into 4 categories as per my Karnataka state. We have state board, CBSE, ICSE, IGCS. For example, the economy school, they give between 5,000 to 10,000. When it comes to low budget school, it is between 10,000 to 30,000. High budget school, somewhere between 30 to 75,000 and thereon. So, there are, our statistics says around 18,000 plus schools, but state boards in economy school category, it is around 4,000 plus, and same on low budget is 9,000 plus, and you can see that particularly. So, I don't want to take much about these particulars. I want to just say here, which board, what you take, and what you are accountable for the parent and child. That is how I am just classifying it. So, starting from types of board, most school student strength, what it would be, and apart from the teachers, what type of teachers we do appoint and what accountable we get from them, area, infrastructure, same like facilities, like it might be rooms, it might be lab, it might be ground, all those things. It differs from the cost what we have taken or what we have provided. So playground, transportation, for example, transportation. Budget schools, hardly they have 1 vehicle or 2 vehicle. Just to say, we do have vehicle. When it comes to topmost elite schools, they have in a school around 80-100 buses. There, the students are like, they come around 50-60% they travel through transportation, wherein budget schools hardly 4 to 5%. And their give and this give is entirely different. Why I want to make this point is, just let us understand what are these boards and what are this take and what are this given back. So management, type of management, in most state boards, the management itself, he himself will be a principal or a headmaster or a secretary to security. Sometimes, some very low budget school where he runs both the things. Sometimes he is supposed to run the vehicle if he has one and bring the children's. Sometimes he goes to, he acts as closing the door after school leaves. This is the situation. We are talking about the state board schools, where in budget schools, there are situation this. The teacher, he himself acts all the platform. So this is one more. If department calls for some accountability, he has to run for giving the accountability. He has to look after his school, again teach a subject. And this is the reality, what is happening there, everywhere. Other facilities like what I told, teacher salary too, it differs from this category of schools. First, the new teacher, if she is a certified teacher, she comes to budget school first. She gives some 1 or 2 years service and she takes a service experience certificate, she goes to other school. That is how it shifts. And the best teacher, she has learned here practical knowledge and she will be discharging somewhere else for a good pay. Yes, because we are not affordable. The budget schools are not affordable. So the elite school can afford because they take more money and give more money. So it remains same. I don't want to keep much on this. So The government is calculating per child expenditure. We are concentrating on this particular issue. Per child expenditure is the government spent per that year for a child in government school. But they have left all these commercials, that is from MP grants, MLA grants, MLC grants, like ZP, sponsors, all yojanas like milk, free meals, midday meal, cycle, cloth, whatever you want. In government, I mean public school, whatever you lure the student to come and attend the school is being spent. Background, everything is commercial. So, leaving all this, they calculate only per child expenditure. If you count all this, it comes to 30,000-40,000 in each state. But the here one slide what I'm showing here is 2015-16, the total outlay of a budget was around 42,000 plus crores. So there they have a lot of heads like toilet, drinking water, Shikshana Abhiyana, all those things. See, one should understand this, where this money is coming. This money is raised, just 10 years back it was around 5,000 plus crores. Now it has been increased to 40,000 plus crores just by the name of cess, education cess. And you are giving that cess, you are not giving anything rather than you are collecting from cess. That is one thing we will have to know, especially because the total over the period of 10 years, 8 times they have raised their fund, but their achievement is just 0.53% by enrollment. The government's accountability. But they ask private schools, you are accountable in what manner? So, after RTE came, just after RTE came, we were being burdened providing 25% seats, minimum infrastructure under 19 and 25 thing, minimum wage for teachers, safety and security bill. Because of this rapes and other things happened in schools, immediately every government, every state started something or the other to bring down in the name of safety, security. The main thing is CC camera. See, if you put CC camera, every safety and security will be there. That is the intention, because everything is a commercial. That I'll say you later. So, apart from that, we have been burdened ESI, PF, gratuity, professional tax, service tax, except sales tax. We have been given everything. So I always request, make us a business people, not a service provider. So we are definitely, because only one thing is left is sales tax. So they have made a rigid fee structure. One way, they say you have all these norms as per RTE. Other part, they fix up a fees structure and they never look into infrastructure, all other aspects. So, leaving all this, you know, in Karnataka, they have made a fee structure. Just imagine, assume it, in Delhi, you are supposed to collect from a lower primary 6,800 rupees for the whole year and give the best education as per the government rules. And if it is 60 kilometers away from Delhi, you have a village. In village, you are supposed to collect just 2,000 rupees for whole year and give a best education. How it is possible? And the same thing is not being followed from government schools. For example, KV is spending around 85,000 per child, including meals and residential thing. That may come around 20,000 and another 60,000 plus they're spending per child, and you have been said to take just 600 rupees as a maintenance for the entire year and give a better, best education. So we are more than 68% in urban, the private state board schools. This is what the stat says. During implementation 2012-13, it was 27 lakh students in unaided private state board schools. In the next year, it was 30,000, that is increase of 2,19,000. But the same thing was declined by 2,65,000. But RTE admission was just 38,000. Where the other student went? That is a different question. and that is a different answer too. It is an elaborated thing. I'll not discuss in this. And the budget. 2012-13, 12,730 crores was given. Same thing for next 2-3 years, it was 15,555. Altogether, it was increased around 2,158 crores. But government giving out reimbursement is just 11,848 from past 4 years. That means you are working in December. Our ill faith is we are working in December, we are getting the salary of last year December in after 6 to 8 months. That means you will be getting your salary in the month of June for working this year of a last year account. This is our situation of most of the boards. It doesn't matter. So my main thing is Karnataka is giving one, my Meghalaya is giving some figure per child expenditure. Government has increased from past 3 years 32.5% DA in its salary, but they have not increased even a single rupee for private schools in the name of RTE reimbursement. Is it fair? And we are accountable for all your rules and regulations, that is infrastructure, safety guidelines, all those things. One example I would give, Karnataka has bought 1925, I mean 19 and under 25 infrastructure norms. As per that, if one opens a school, it will not be more. A poorest should pay around 82,000 rupees per child to take education in a normal state board school. If it is newly established for this year, he has to minimum pay. Who will pay? Who can pay? Because they are already paying just 10,000, 20,000 and getting a best education. If this is compliance, you'll have to take, and he has to pay around 82,000. Is it possible? Same way, safety guidelines. Just police commissioner gave 9 safety rules. To comply with that, like CC camera, additional staff, additional data, a school has to spend around one-time investment of 2,15,000, and every month he or she has to pay, spend around 1,39,000. And if you calculate this, for example, if a school has 300 students and he is taking 500 rupees of fees, monthly fees, his immediate increase of fees would be around 92%. If private school raise 10% of fees, parents start shouting. But here, as per government's own rules, you are supposed to. This has not been checked. So if you own a vehicle and it runs 5 kilometers radius and minimum you take a 28-seater, I have calculated according to that without any other heads, it costs per child, as per the rules if you follow, 1,450 rupees per month. And definitely our budget school parents never pay. They pay hardly they pay is 500, 600, 800, and not all the 48, because the ratio is 1.5, 1 is to 1.5. That is 28-seater, you can carry around 45 students. And this is how. And police verification, every year you'll have to check with the teachers that they are free from their corrupt or any law and order issue is there with them. And you'll have to pay every year 255 rupees to take an antecedent certificate. And never they give you assurance that tomorrow if your teacher does anything, you will be jailed. Though they give you certificate, you will be jailed. Managements are so vulnerable. For anybody's mistake, first arrest would be a principal or the headmaster, or both sometimes, and they will be jailed for 6 months to 1 year. So apart from that, BWSSB, KEB, everywhere. In BWSSB, we have to pay, if a school is around 5,000 square feet, we'll have to pay one time of around 16 to 18 lakhs. Just imagine, can we run the show? Can this type of rules and regulations or minimum norms, if you apply for schools, if that is the situation, there are more than 50% of the public school has to close down because the rules from RT applies both same for whether it is a public or private. But there they have no say, and they are saying only the private schools because we are like cattle, like cows, because you can squeeze good milk. And budget schools, they are cow from villages. What do you say, farm and nati cows. Because whatever you eat the same stuff, same straw, same booza, but you give only hardly 1 liter of milk, whereas elite school, farm cow, it gives 10 to 20 liters of thing, and they can squeeze there. There is not accountable. We have been accountable because more number of state board schools are there, so they are nicely milking us. So this is the situation. Yes, it's a corruption, what I mean to say. Okay, so these are things. If this continues, most of the managements are thinking in this angle. Let us close our schools and go for some real estate. That would be better option, because real estate, no need to get tensed, because from morning 7 o'clock we start with our accountability and we end at around 6 o'clock, starting from drivers to attenders. We'll be thinking what happened in the school. If anything is not happened, then that day is peaceful day. The next day we'll have to see our faith, because psychologically we have been shattered. So this is the situation. So only one thing lastly I would make a note to just air this issue. We have to not talk individually in the state. We are supposed to talk in the Jantar Mantar. We all should get together, all the states together, get together to the Jantar Mantar, say our government that we are all together and we want to survey and we want to give a good quality education and the best affordable rates. So please encourage us. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. So save our school, save budget school. Budget school bachao.